Good evening, it is live at 5. You were supposed to hear us then, because that's what we were talking about. James had put it over there. And we were discussing whether or not people get home and then it builds. And you do, and it does. And that's all good. No club call today, because there's just 2 of us. And it's, yeah. If we don't get enough calls, then I'm sitting here just chatting on my own. So it's not very good. So there's no club call. But it'll still be interactive. We'll be going through all your comments. Of course we will. Of course we will. Yeah. But James, we're going to begin with Thierno Barry, because a French journalist today has reported that Everton have tabled a bid in excess of 30 million euros. He's attached to a very popular news outlet. Yeah. Normally, these are the first leaks when these kind of transfers go through in these countries. So, what do you think?
What do I think of him as a player? Well,
what do you think of? Do you think there's anything in this bid?
Absolutely. I think if you're looking at sort of a striker you want to sign for your team, he's like the perfect fit, isn't he? Where at least for this Everton team anyway, is that he's young, he's fast, good in the air. And if you look at his highlights, he's really good at finishing too. Can be a player on the dribble. And like for the size, he's surprisingly good at like moving and stuff as well. You know, he's been compared to like Osimhen and stuff in the past. And I think overall he's just a really good player. And absolutely, if you're Everton, you'd be wanting to sign him. And I think the fact that they're starting to get like the transfer and like the rumours are starting to come up already is a positive for me, because hopefully you can get him in on the 1st of July and then he's instantly ready to join when we start training, and it all goes well then. Because as you said, 3rd or 5th they'll come back, won't they? And then you can really get involved in the other team, have a proper pre-season, and then there's someone there to battle Beto. He's also playing on the right, so there's an option for him to play him out there. So yeah, it just seems like a perfect transfer really.
That'll be interesting. Listen, it'll be interesting. I don't know whether it's real or it isn't real. We have to wait for that. That confirmation, but highly rated player, good player. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We've been doing this for a long time, so sometimes when we turn up mics and that, it's for effect, and we just sat here a little bit, being ready to start. Have a bit of fun with you. If you've followed us for long enough, you will know time to time we do this for a bit of a prestige. We just wanted to spice things up on what is a very warm studio.
And how it is warm.
The Redmen have all gone home early because it was hot. And I suppose when you're signing players for 150 million, you can. And me and James were trying to be a little bit, I don't even know what the word, mischievous. We were going to go right up to the line, and we thought, no, don't do that. Don't go right up to the line, because people can't take a joke sometimes. So there you go.
Don't go full ped.
Never go full ped. We can't. We haven't got the facilities to do that.
No. I don't know. I can't switch to just being that angry like Ped does. I don't think I've ever felt emotions like Ped in my life. How he can just be so passionate about something that he didn't even care about 2 minutes before.
Fair play. Fair play too. It's all good. It's all good. David,
roasting in the studio.
It's so warm. It's so warm. I love David Lee says, anyone else think James has gone a bit soon on the Edge's closer shout, unless there's been a major update I don't know about? Well, a French journalist, like we said before, has reported Everton have made a bid today.
To be fair, maybe I shouldn't have used an ellipsis and I should have used a question mark. But you know what? Yeah. I don't really have an excuse for it, but yeah, you're probably right. Should have done a question mark.
I thought you would have done a question mark, but it's fine.
Yeah. Gotta get them in.
It's fine, mate. Do whatever. We're just discussing what is being reported today. So we'll see whether or not anything comes of it.
Yeah.
People have got their opinions on a striker that they would like. We'll see. We will see. All good. It's all good. What's I going to say then? I think if Everton could get this one sort of set up and ready to go, I think that'd be a real positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'd be really positive, and I think a lot of people would be. I think a lot of people would be excited by it. Again, I know some people are seeing we've done the striker video. If you want to know a bit more about them, go and watch the striker video if you've not watched it. And people were like, well, these players, you're saying we need proven players. And we sort of discussed this on the Premier Only live at lunchtime. And it's like, who are these proven 20-goal a season strikers that Everton can get in the Premier? Like, who? Because everyone wants them. Where are they?
Yeah.
You know?
And how much would you have to pay for them?
Who are they?
If there was one out there that Everton could get, they're never picking Everton over some other clubs that are desperate for that 20-goal striker, who would offer them like 600 grand a week or something.
It is mad. Hassan Azet on the super chat, thank you very much, mate, says, I think Barry should be top of the list at the minute. Definitely think we should try and get Grealish on loan as well. 100%. NSNO, come on you Blues, and up the Friedkin Toffees. Thank you very much for the super chat. Yeah, listen, I mean, what are you making of I know we sort of did Grealish yesterday for quite a while, but just very quickly, what are you making of it? Because each day, talking about edging closer, each day the story seems to edge him closer to Everton. I don't know whether he'll come or he won't come, and it clearly would have to be the money. Yeah. It would all have to work, but I mean, can you see that happening?
I think what other teams in the Premier League at least would go for him, where he would consider it, and it makes sense, because I don't see him going like to Tottenham. Were linked to him, but I don't see that happening because they've got loads of players and loads of like wingers that they spent money on, and they're linked with a few like Mbuemo and stuff. But West Ham, would you pick West Ham over Everton?
No.
You'd have to basically move house to go live in London for a year, where he might not even live there in a year. He can stay where he is now and play for Everton. Newcastle, they've got Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon who play there, and they're like one of the other teams that are linked, and they're also linked with Madueke and stuff. So would they get both of them? And then apart from, they like sort of Aston Villa, would they go back there? Would they want him back there? And also, could they afford to get him back there with sort of their wage bill and how it is now? And then Forest, he doesn't fit into Forest because they have really pacey wingers who like press loads, and that's not really Grealish's sort of game. And so if you look at all that, I feel like Everton does suit him in a way, because even though we started to play towards the end of last season with Alcaraz playing out wide, where he's not really a winger, he's more cutting on the inside, and I feel like that suits Grealish's game perfectly, whether he did play there or if he played in the 10, maybe even a bit deeper, but I doubt that. And so for a year where he's going into a new stadium and it's a positive atmosphere and he's challenging, and he will get game time before the World Cup year, which is, I assume, the big thing for him. I think it makes a lot of sense for him to go to Everton, and it's just dependent really on the finances, isn't it? Because he is on 300 grand a week, and there was reports saying that they want at least 50 million for him.
It's nonsense.
Never happening. Yeah. And Everton aren't paying close to 300 grand a week. I think at most you pay half of his wages, and that's like your absolute most with no loan fee, and he'd do it. And I feel like it would be a good transfer. He'd come in and be instantly one of our best players, if not our best player, and we properly kick on. It'd be a statement signing as well, because he's a big name. He's won a treble, and you're beating other clubs to it. So to me, it's a great opportunity. It's a great transfer to make, and it's one that sets the tone really for how the rest of the window's going to go. And yeah, he might only be here for a year, but he's got 2 years left in his deal, isn't it? So he does well this year, and then he's got 1 year left. So then what does his price go down to? Everton, do you want to keep him? And so I think for both Man City and Everton, it's a great deal, and it makes sense. You won't have to move out. You can try and get in the World Cup squad, and then you can sort of put him back on the market for when he has got 1 year left for, I don't know. It feels like something that Arsenal would end up doing. Not right now, but it feels like something a 30-year-old Jack Grealish is someone nearby. So yeah, I think it's a good deal and should do it.
I don't know, we'll see, eh? We'll see. Dave Kendall says, I think it's a bit of a risk, but taking his age and rumoured fee into account, I think it's also a calculated risk we need to take. That's more on Thierno, Barry, not Jack Grealish, of course. Inky Squid says, wonder what a transfer means to Chimity. Well, I think that'd mean he could go out on loan, to be honest.
Yeah.
Me being greedy, I think I will put the fan on RC, by the way, just reminded me. Me being greedy, I would like Chimity to stay as well, so we've got 3 strikers, but he needs games. If he's going to be anything to Everton, or we need to see whether he can even be an Everton centre-forward.
Yeah.
Put him on loan. If he was in Everton's under-21 squad, people would be going on about how great he is, but because we bought him, some people are doubting him, and I think he's looked decent when he's played for us.
Yeah.
But he also looks like he needs to play games of football.
He's only just turned 21 as well.
Yeah, it was the other week, wasn't it, in May? So I would get him on loan.
It's like he's in a weird position, because he's too good for the academy, otherwise he'd be playing there, and he's just not at the level to be in the first team yet. So it lines up perfectly that he goes out on loan and he does get that match experience and then comes back to the Everton team, and hopefully we sign 1 or 2 strikers, and then he comes back and he's competing with Beto now, and you make the decision of who'd you keep out of them 2, or who'd you keep out of someone else and whoever we sign, and then that's where like the competition increases with Everton's team. I think a loan's the best idea for him though, because if he spends another season at Everton and he's just on the bench and maybe he gets 20 minutes or he gets a Carabao Cup game, it's pointless, isn't it? He's not really ever had a proper season in football, so send him out on loan to a good team, and then hopefully he comes back and we get what we invested the initial money in for.
Tommy says, the South End, the new stadium, you sure the grey bit in the middle is not having advertising boards on? I don't think it is. I don't know, to be honest, Tom, but I don't think it is having advertising boards on. It definitely needs painting. Can't be, my opinion, and it's only my opinion, and all opinions are valid here. It can't be, we shouldn't have any concrete at all in that stadium that you can see. In the concourse and all that, whatever, but on view, everything should be blue.
Jack Grealish has been left out of Man City's Club World Cup squad. It's interesting.
That's him and McAtee, isn't it?
Yeah. Shaky's in it though, and Reinders. Interesting. But Oscar Bob's in it as well.
That's interesting, Bob's, isn't it? Yeah, very interesting. There you go. Big Jack on his way. Liam says disgraceful last night that Pickford got dropped. Someone asked before, was it Ben asked about Thierno Barry choosing Guinea for the AFCON, but he's played for the France under 21s, still only 22. I'd be surprised if he's ready to give up on France at the moment this early to go and play for Guinea. I think he'd wait. And if it's a couple of years and he's not getting a look in and it doesn't look like he's going to get a look in, he may well do that then. It's
what Beto and Decore both done, isn't it? Beto was Portuguese until recently, and then he switched to Guinea-Bissau.
Guinea-Bissau, yeah.
Decore was French, and then he switched recently to Mali. So I think he's too young yet to switch it.
Yeah.
Holgate the same with Jamaica.
Yeah, true. Where am I here? What did you think of Diarra last night, says Michael Reichart? Well, I didn't watch it, to be honest, Michael, if I'm being perfectly honest. But of everything I've heard from everybody else, said that he was very good. I know he scored his first goal, didn't he, for Senegal? Goalkeeper, or the hologram, as he looked like last night.
Yeah.
Didn't do himself any favours, but he's a very, very good player. Very good player. I'd love him, I'll be honest. I know a few people are really like flapping over if we had too many African players, but that's for 3 weeks of a season.
Yeah.
I'd rather take me chances, and over, what is it, 76 games, if you said to me the African players aren't available for 8 of them over 2 seasons, I'd be like, sound.
Yeah.
Because that's what me James Garner, me Harrison Armstrongs, me, Carlos Alcaraz, Timid Abunums, that's what they're there for.
And realistically, right now, it's only in dying gay because Guinea-Bissau, they didn't qualify, did they? So
No, so Beto's not going.
realistically, if Everton can't survive without a 35-year-old midfielder and one,
No, but they're talking about new players. So we got Diarra.
No, I know, but
People were talking about Juve, the left back from last night. That'd be before going off to the AFCON, but so be it. Your other players are there for a reason, aren't they? So
I'd have an international player than a non-international player.
Mm. So, Tyler says, if you've seen that picture of Njai, thumbs are up, Bellingham distressed in the foreground. Yeah. Who says Grealish out of the City squad? Yeah. Matt Sumner says the young Croatian we're linked to looks a lively option, cheap release clause. Mark Cody says sign Diarra, he's excellent. Yeah. Damien says, I read a post earlier saying that Grealish prefers a move to us over Newcastle and foreign clubs. I saw that, yeah. Well, again, like we've said before, he's got the opportunity to come here and play. Other clubs who might want him, Champions League clubs, I don't know whether City would let him go there. They might, I don't know. But also, I just think he'd come here and play every week. And therefore, I think that's what he'd be looking for. It's a World Cup year. Doesn't have to move, of course, and how much stock you put into that, but I think he's quite settled. He's just had a baby, hasn't he, and all that. And he's quite settled in Manchester or wherever. He probably lives in Alderley Edge or something or whatever. And therefore, he wouldn't have to move there. Everton are on the up, there's no doubt about it. Brand new stadium, owners coming in, it feels exciting. David Moyes, very good at getting people's careers back on track. Yeah. Very good at that.
Look like a Lingard and stuff. Yeah.
To me, I just look at it and go, it all comes down to whether the money works. It just comes down to the numbers.
Yeah. It feels like one of them, doesn't it, where it's like, if you put it down on paper, like, you know, like with the lap, put it all down on paper, it probably looked like Everton were best suited for him. It's the same with Grealish. It's just whether Everton can sort of compete like financially with like a Chelsea or something and offer him whatever he wants. Whereas, I don't know what other club would. Arsenal. Stupid.
Yeah. David Lee says, anyone else finding it strange that we have transfer targets to talk about, that we actually have a possibility of signing good times? Yeah, it is a bit mad, isn't it? It is a bit mad.
How was that one window for you where we only spent like $1.5 million? Was that a painful transfer window?
Yeah.
Imagine.
It was because we had Rafa Benitez.
Yeah. And Rondon, Townsend and Damari Gray were the only ones. Which someone else came in, didn't he? A keeper? I can't remember.
Oh, thingy. Lonergan,
yeah. That was the whole window.
It's a bad window. It was a bad window because obviously we had Luis Diaz lined up. Not only did we not bring people in, and we had talked about the Diaz deal before, didn't we? He got rid of all of our exciting players.
Yeah.
And it was Rafa Benitez. So it was tough. It was tough. Hassan says, yeah, definitely, Baz, I agree. The money, a big one on Grealish. He'd definitely be an upgrade on Harrison. No, can Jack play on the left? Not sure if he played on the right for City or what. Like, good footballers can play anywhere, really. Depends what you're looking for, doesn't it? Grealish plays mainly off the left. City and did he for Villa, but he's also played in the 10 for Villa. He played 8 for Villa. Don't think he's played too much on the right for Villa because he's not really one that goes on the outside, but I just want good players in our squad, I'll be honest. Sophie says, I see England did well without Pickford. We need to get Adrissa tied down. He was very good last night.
On Jack Grealish's positions, he's played 216 games as a left winger, 133 as an attacking midfielder, 17 as a central midfielder, 11 as a right winger, and 6 as a right midfielder. So, attacking midfield, the left winger sort of his role, isn't it? He's apparently played left back once.
Good players can play anywhere.
He's played near enough everywhere apart from right back and centre half.
Dave Kendall says, I think the only questions about Grealish should be the financial ones. Playing wise, he'd be a good sign and it'd be an instant improvement. Absolutely, he would. Absolutely, he would. It is Shelley and Eugene had said this as well before. Says, congratulations to David Moyes, OBE. Yeah, definitely. Tommy says, and Jai played on the right for Senegal last night. Ghana ran the show.
Yeah, and Dai had a really good game as well.
See, there's not... Illiman and Jai could easily play on the right. He can beat a man, he can cross it. I remember there might have even been the Doncaster game, so was it the Doncaster game? Was it the Southampton game? One of the cup games, Softjay put him on the right hand side for a bit and he went down, he skinned the fullback and put this unbelievable cross in. I think Beto headed it, but he should have really scored. It was a peach of a cross.
Oh yeah, it was Doncaster.
Doncaster.
It's like, yeah.
But he's got that ability because he's got good delivery. He can beat a man. If you think about it, when he plays off the left, most of his goals, I think, and I'd have to see them all again, but just off memory, most of them he scored from central areas anyway.
Yeah.
I think on the left, when he skins the man, he didn't get a single assist for Everton last season because when he goes on the outside, his left foot's not great. You know, his left foot produced the best finish ever against Spurs. But in general, if you see him, it's a little bit Doku-esque where he does the hard bit with the right foot and then the left foot cutting it back or whatever seems weak. He doesn't seem to find the thing. And I just wonder if he's 1v1 on his right foot. Yeah, well, not only can he get shots away, but there'd be nothing stopping him coming in field on his right foot and getting into those central areas to get shots away as well. I'm not saying do that all the time. And listen, who knows? The manager might possibly get Grealish, stick him on the left and go, Illiman, you're going right behind Beto or right behind Barry. And we'll have two workhorses and then it's up to Alcaraz to work his way into the whatever. We don't want to sit here going, we can name our starting 11 and that's it. We want to be able to go, where's Dwight McNeil going to play? Or where's
competition, don't we? I said that before. I said that
I still need a runner on the right.
Yeah. But I don't want to be sat there and when Pedro's is starting 11 and he gets it right every week like he has been. I don't want that anymore. I want him to at least be like some decisions that
you got to think. Yeah, that's what he wants.
Rather than everyone's just guaranteed because we don't have anyone else.
Hassan on the super chat again. Thank you very much, mate. Says, and Jai and Guy were brilliant for Senegal last night. Proper key players for them. They'll be the same for us again next season, hopefully. Well, Kalidou Koulibaly seemed to say last night that he knows Idrissa's staying.
Yeah, well, Idrissa's basically said it himself.
And Idrissa sort of said it, and Moyes has sort of hinted at it today as well. And Idrissa will be key for us. And we know Njai will, because good player. Mark Cody says, Football Insider says he wants to go to Everton over Newcastle. That means nothing. That means he's not coming because everything on there is lies. Yeah. Matthew Berkeley says, we've spent 10 years bemoaning making signings past their prime. Haven't we learned anything? We are going younger, Matthew, but if you can get them on loan, let's be honest, who in the last 10 years have we brought in who's past their prime, who's of the quality of Jack Grealish, though?
Just look at the loans we had last season, and none of them are even comparable to Jack Grealish. No. That's all of it.
And you can turn around and go, James Rodriguez, he had 14 goal contributions. He was brilliant.
Yeah,
he was brilliant. So, I get it. You don't want 5 or 6 of them just getting them in. But if it's a loan deal, and that's what I'm talking about, it's a no-brainer. And we are also talking about Thierno Barry as well, who very much is a work in progress. So, Emma says, everyone's sweating cobs and I've got my body warmer on. How?
Don't know how.
It's 26 degrees.
It's sunny out as well.
You're mad, Emma. You are mad. Tom S says, problem with Grealish is we're going to be in the same position next year trying to replace him. We need players for the future, not just one season. Yeah, but we're going to have money to spend next season. And therefore, that gives us a year to look for... The way I look at Jack, Everton need a right winger. And I expect David Moyes to bring in at least one player on the right-hand side, if not two. Jack Grealish is left centre kind of player. He's almost like a bonusy type signing, really.
Yeah.
Everton still should be doing the priorities, and the priorities are a right winger who can run, a centre forward, probably a midfield player, a left back. They're the priorities.
Yeah.
And then you'd have a Kyle Walker-Peters on a free at right back. You decide what you're doing at centre back. You go and get Grealish on loan. You try and pick another one or two loans up. And that's how you piece it. And then next summer you're ready to go again.
Well, yeah, hopefully, you have this season and you get your Thierno Barry and you get your right winger and they bed in this season. And then they're all good for next season. And then you replace Jack Grealish with another youngster and he gets through. And then you just start building it that way.
That's how you'd have to
rather
build
than
it.
just spending all your money on them. Get a few players who are good now.
Yeah. Joe Barberry says afternoon from a windy, muggy, sunny Cornwall.
Nice.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Tom S says we need a few first team signings. Whoever we loan should be more rotational players. Yeah. Yeah. Serhat says Grealish should only be a good move for us if we solved most of the more pressing issues. We don't need a left mid. We do need lots of... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If you can sort of bring in the key positions, then a Grealish becomes that loan that works for everybody. We'll see. Bob says, Baz, will Toffee TV get press accredited for the 26 press conferences? We're trying, mate. Whether we will, I don't know. But we're certainly trying. Trylos says all opinions valid today means pets away. Adam says Chimiti needs a loan, in my honest opinion, and we need a backup for Michalenko and another right back, regardless whether Coleman stays as a coach. Yeah. Daz says, are the rumours true about our first few games away? Only rumours, mate, that's all I've heard. People who I've asked have said no, but I don't know is the answer. They're not 100% no, so I have no idea. We'll see. But Everton are supposedly having a friendly at the new stadium on August the 9th, so that would sort of go against the rumours, wouldn't it? Yeah. Everton's first away, the first game of the season may well be away, because that would then give them another week, or to give another week, wouldn't you, to get things ready. But we'll see. We'll know next Wednesday, won't we? McAtee is in the under-21s, Wheel says. Ooh, says, imagine we got Minter last summer. Yeah, well, we would have, wouldn't we? Simon says, some of us still remember the past sell-by dates, Mark Hughes, Gaza, Ginola. 2 out of those 3 were 35 and over. And Gaza was, 31 or something, 32. Totally different. Ooh, says, I'm scared of losing and Jai. Why? And that's not me saying you shouldn't be scared of losing and Jai, but why are you scared of losing?
Yeah, what's came out?
Going nowhere.
What does he know?
Jai's not going anywhere. MB says, I want to see the build come this USA tournament. Yeah, absolutely. Matthew says, Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney came back and was Everton's best player. So the 11 goals by December was comfortably Everton's best player, and then played in midfield for the second half of the season. And control. Yeah, I think you've missed that one, in my opinion. This is a totally different thing as well, isn't it? But yeah. Where are we? Gerwin says Walker, Peters, Grealish, Barry, and need to fill centre midfield.
Just get Diarra. That's a nice thought of.
Donald says who had more quality, Dele or Grealish? A loan deal at what cost? But Grealish plays, doesn't he? Dele.
Would you have said that the peak was better?
Grealish?
Would you? Yeah.
As a footballer?
Yeah.
Barkley was better than Dele.
Oh, I thought Dele Alli was good though.
Dele was brilliant,
Yeah.
right? But Dele was brilliant at arriving in the box and scoring goals.
Yeah.
And he had a bit more composure. As a technical footballer, Ross Barkley, I always said that Ross Barkley was better. Jack Grealish or Dele? Come on.
Pete Dele Alli was really good though.
He was really good.
Really,
he was really good, but what was he really good at? He was really good at scoring goals from that midfield position, linking up with Kane. That's what he was really good at.
He was good passing as well. I still don't forgive Rondon for him not finishing that chance that Dele Alli gave him. That one, it was an amazing pass.
Rondon.
Yeah. But yeah.
Jack Grealish was being brilliant. He's brilliant for Villa. He's brilliant for City.
Yeah. It's still a tough one though.
I don't think it is. Dele was, don't get me wrong, Dele was good, really good. But he was really good at scoring goals from midfield. That was his strength. He was like a really good athlete and he scored goals from midfield. But I don't know, I've seen a lot of games where they passed them by. But he'd always pop up with that goal, so you go, he arrived in the box late brilliantly. He was really good, don't get me wrong. There was a spell when he was really good, but then it sort of came, and I don't know whether, because they had Harry Kane, I don't know whether that sort of ate into what his talent was. I don't know.
But they had
really Son, and they had people like Ericsson, and they had a lot of other players, didn't he? And he was great, and then it sort of, I don't know, it sort of stagnated a bit, and then obviously it went the other way, didn't it? And he started, whether he had too much too soon or whatever, I don't know. And then it went. I know he's had loads of issues and loads of problems, hasn't he? And it obviously got worse, and injuries are bad and all that. I think Jack Grealish has been at a higher level.
There was just that one season when it was like, what year would it have been?
Just the one when he flicked it up and scored that goal at that Palace was a hell of a goal. He had that year when he got like 10 in 28, I think, and he was off Kane. That year he was brilliant. He was really good.
I just remember some of the finishes that he had was just unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying. He was like a second striker. He was really good in that role. It was like a way better version of Cahill.
Yeah. Like
Cahill was great, but technically Dele was way better version of that. Arriving in the box, almost a bit like Lampard, but he wasn't as deep as Lampard. He was great at that with Kane. That team when he got like to the Champions League and that, and when he was playing for England in 18, brilliant, really good. Yeah. But then it sort of stopped, didn't it? And it was
it just went instantly, and then Kane left, and Ericsson and Dembele and all. Next thing, the whole team was gone, and then he joins Everton, and well, that one pass though.
Imran Tansom 78 says, is Pep getting rid of Grealish because he knows his legs have gone? He's always stumbling out of pubs drunk. It's a worry for the lad. Seems a decent chap, but his off-field antics are a concern. Listen, I don't know. Right? I think Jack Grealish is a brilliant, brilliant footballer.
Yeah.
I look at City, and I've said this to James on the Prem Live at dinner time. Name me another Everton player that gets in Man City's team.
Yeah.
The goalie maybe, because Ederson's on it. Ederson's gone as needs to pot, and Ortega I don't rate.
Yeah.
Branthwaite.
Ruben Diaz though.
Got Ruben Diaz. They've got Guardiola. They've got people like this.
They're both like the left
John Stones when he's fit. Maybe. Tarkovsky's really good, but the City aren't, and that's it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I love Njai, but Njai doesn't get in Man City's team. But Jack Grealish does.
Yeah.
So therefore, Jack Grealish is better than any Everton player. So therefore, Jack Grealish makes Everton better.
Yeah.
Everton might have no chance of getting Jack Grealish, by the way. It's just a hypothetical. But I think if Everton had the opportunity, if the money worked, had the opportunity for a season to get him, and he played every week and was in, and knew he had that responsibility of playing every week, I think Everton, a lot of Evertonians would be shocked at how good he is.
Yeah.
And I think it'd work for a year. I don't, Moyes or not, I don't know, but I think it'd work for a year. Moyes doesn't, the thing other people are forgetting as well is Moyes does his due diligence on people. So if David Moyes wants Jack Grealish, he'll have asked about him. Yeah. He'll have done all the background stuff. And if he still goes to sign Jack Grealish, it's because all of that background stuff is nonsense and is exaggerated and all that, and he's had good reports. If he doesn't, it's because David Moyes goes, nah, it's not for me. Yeah. That's fine. I trust this manager totally. Yeah. So, we'll see. MB says Barry can, Barry can play right wing. Yeah. Ruben says Garner, Diarra and Jai already have the chemistry. Correct. Eltel says Grealish all day. Mark says I think McAtee would be better for us than Grealish. I don't know. Maybe. Richard Rios, Everton have been linked with him before. Gavin says, what about Dewsbury Hall from Chelsea? Well, is our midfield thing out? Yeah. Yeah, well, me and James discuss Dewsbury Hall on the midfield video, so the midfield target, so give that a watch.
Winger one tomorrow.
But you'll get, you will get our opinions on that.
And you'll get McAtee's ones tomorrow. For people who are talking about them in the comments.
Matt Davies says, makes me wonder if people on here realise what a good player Jack Grealish is. Weird bunch. Been starved for years on dross and suddenly getting choosy about clear quality way above our current levels. Each to their each to their own. People have their own opinions.
You look at like the wingers and the number 10s we had this last season, and it's like Lindstrom, Harrison, Brozier.
Look at who we've had. Right?
Yeah.
Look at who we've had for years. Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
James aside, we've had very little quality. Yeah. We love Jai, but there wasn't 10 clubs banging down Marseille's door for Iliman Jai, was there?
Yeah.
And look at how much we love him, because he's a player who can actually take the ball and go past people. Well, Jack Grealish does that for fun.
Yeah.
So I think Matt's right. But, like I said, I'm not telling people who they should like, who they shouldn't. I trust the manager. If the manager says, I want Jack Grealish, go and do it, then I'm all in with the manager. Tommy says Habib Diarra really impressed me last night. Absolutely. Listen, I've wanted Diarra for a while. I think Everton looked at him last pre-season, didn't he? I don't think Sean Dyche liked the look of him when it was 9 million and therefore he didn't get him, but he also didn't like the look of Ekitike
and
Cherky. He turned Cherky down, so there you go. Make it at what you will, but I'd have him, yeah, absolutely. Neil says, hello from Colorado. Do you have any events lined up for the US pre-season? So we're just waiting to see, Neil. Where are you gonna be? Are you going to one of the games? Because obviously we're gonna be in the three places. Think we might be doing something in Chicago, but we'll definitely, wherever it is, we'll definitely be going from that. So. Wayne says if it's a choice between McAtee or Grealish, I'd take McAtee. Yeah, sound. McAtee's a very good footballer. The Flying Scotsman says how close is Barry? Well, there's a report today saying Everton have bid for him from a French journalist. We don't know, but it seems like it might be edging a bit closer, so we're just using that as a jumping off point really for this. Matt Davies says Grealish is a top bloke, not stumbling out of pubs and misrepresented by the media.
Yeah.
I've got no problem with Jack Grealish in the off-season going out and getting bevied. If that's what he wants. If he wants a release of the pressure of the whole season, no issue. As long as he turns back up for pre-season, ready to work his bollocks off and for the whole season, go and enjoy yourself. Footballers have done this forever. Footballers and people are very judgmental. And a lot of the most judgmental people are the people who are doing the same thing themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if those lads again, I'm judging anyone. If Jack Grealish in his off-season wants to go out and get bevied because he can't at any other time in the year, then all right, just make sure when you turn up for pre-season that you're in shape and ready to go.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And that's it. And if you are, great. If you're not, you're getting fined, and everyone will know. So it's up to him. Hassan says, got my and Jai top and up the Everton Toffees. Teased the other week from Toffee TV store, by the way, lads. Made up with them, just waiting on MOYES and COLEMAN. Brilliant, thank you very much. They are good, they're good quality, to be fair. Nice one. Who says, and Jai is better than Doku?
I know, but if you're picking City's strongest team, you're not picking Doku. Marmoush plays on the left now, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's all thingy. What I'm saying is City weren't queuing up for Njai, were they? I love Iliman Njai, so it's fine. It's fine. But I don't know whether Pep would pick Iliman Njai over Doku.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean Pep's right, by the way. Where are we here? Gerwin says, do you think Richie returns this summer? No. Not unless Everton can do 2 domestic loans and 6 international loans. They're never ever going to do 6 international loans, obviously, because there's just too many players, but they may do 2 or 3 international loans. 2 domestic loans. Who knows?
You know, towards the end of last season, when we were speaking about like the players that we did loan in, you said, I don't know if it was you said it, but it might have been Ped, that you'd be willing to take Lindstrom back.
It was Ped.
Oh, it was Ped. I was going to say, do you still feel like that after all the people we've been linked to?
No.
No.
Because we would never ever play Lindstrom where his position is.
Yeah.
It's like getting Grealish on loan and saying you're playing left back.
Yeah.
And then people go, he's not very good at left back, is he? Well, no, because he's not a left back.
Yeah.
Lindstrom isn't a right winger. He's an attacking midfield player.
Yeah.
Who plays central. Ruben says, is McAtee better than Chimiti? Well, they do play in different positions, but yeah, he is. Mully, okay. I disagree, but that's fine. That's fine. Sniffer, behave, mate. Talking about people who could drive forward with the ball and technical ability. Come on, mate. Mind you, you're probably still bevied after winning the Carabao Cup, aren't you? Because you actually won a trophy. Stop it, mate. Where are we? Ken says any Grealish deal won't happen until the last day of the transfer window.
Why?
Who knows?
Surely,
who knows?
Without, like, there'll be loads of people after him, so that's probably why I don't want to get it done quickly. And that's why the links came about now, because he's not in the squad or anything, so people know that he's not sort of in Pep's mind anymore, don't they?
Blue 96. Lindstrom would have to play midfield, mate. There'd be me personally, there'd be no point whatsoever playing him on the right-hand side. Again, he's not a winger. He's just not a winger. In Germany, he was playing as either a number 10 or an attacking midfield player, and that was where he was at his best. Playing on the right hand. Napoli took him from there. Klopp wanted him to be an attacking midfield player for Liverpool, and he went to Napoli. And Napoli had him after a few games, put him on the right wing, and then wondered why he didn't score or create, because it wasn't his position. Then we took him and we played him on the right. And it was like, well, yeah, he hasn't scored or created because that's not really where he plays. So getting him back, no, not for me. Not for me. George says, I'm in Portugal at the moment. Hope you're having a good time, mate. But what about Habib Diarra? Would he come to us? Plus Barry could be wrong too. He's a player that Everton fans will love, yeah. Habib Diarra would come to Everton, absolutely he would, but we'd have to bid for him, wouldn't we?
And you should watch our midfielder video to know our thoughts.
Definitely. Yeah. Fortifies Baz, what's the obsession with Grealish? What upset? If you discuss a player, people go, you're upset. It's berserk. People are berserk.
It's the big news, isn't it, right now? Him and Barry. Like the big conversations with him. That seem like they've sort of got a bit in them. Because there's a few other ones that don't, but they don't seem like they've got something in them.
Dice did refuse to play Big Jake. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, Malik Fofana absolutely should be considered. I don't know whether he'd want to come here. I think he's looking at the Champions League team, but I'd absolutely go for Malik Fofana, 100%. Anand Moodley says Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark, hello here in Balito, South Africa.
Come
on. Hello. King Hoddle says make a bid for Basuma. I think he could suit Everton very well. We was we were linked with him, like. He's got a year left, hasn't he? I think. Did I say he had a year left or two? No, he's got a year left, hasn't he? Spurs were saying, well, the rumours were 15 to 20 million. He's 29 in September, isn't he? But he's a good player. The transfer window, it opens on the 20th, I think. 20th of June, Mark.
It's Monday the 16th of June.
Is it? That when it is? I thought it was the 20th.
What was the point of closing it yesterday?
Yeah.
For 5
Well, it was
days.
only open for Liverpool. No, sorry. It wasn't.
but just leave it
was
open.
only open for City and for like Real Madrid and things, an international one, wasn't it? Because of that. Paul says I'm a bit late. What's the latest? The latest is, according to a French journalist who does work for a reputable thing, says Everton a bid for Barry today, but I don't know. We don't know. We haven't had it confirmed. So, John says could honestly see Lindstrom going to a Palace or Brentford. He might go to Brentford because they've got very strong links with Denmark, haven't they? The Danes and stuff. They probably, well, I don't know, because Thomas Frank's on a go now, isn't he? But if they got him, I bet you'd play him centrally, and that's where you'd look and think he looks a good player. I just think, no, Reece, I agree with you in some respects. Good players should be able to play anywhere, but if it's not your skill set, what Everton are looking for on the right-hand side is pace and the ability to score goals and create goals. Lindstrom hasn't done that, as he hasn't scored. Hasn't he got the longest run now in Europe without a goal?
Yeah, for a player who's valued over like 20 million.
Like 70 odd games or something.
By like a good 40 games now, I think.
Mad. Flying Scotsman says thoughts on O'Reilly. Matt O'Reilly, good player, isn't he? He's gone to Brighton, the ankle injury. The ankle injury sort of knackered him, didn't it? When he was
really likes him, doesn't he?
When he was doing all right. Scored a lot of goals. At Celtic. He was brilliant at Celtic, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was brilliant at Celtic.
Well, he said, hasn't he, that he likes to be like sort of a 10 or like a second striker, and he's been getting played a lot deeper at Brighton, which he doesn't really like. So it's whether Everton offered him that other position.
At the end of the day, if the manager wants you to play a position,
play.
Surely, when you're signing for a club, you have these discussions. David Murphy says Diarra's in talks with Leeds. I haven't seen anything that says he is, but fair play. If that's the latest, he certainly wasn't in talks today with them. Because they'd said yesterday he doesn't want to go there. So, fair play. Matt says keep up the great work, lads. The daily chats makes the off-season bearable. King Hoddle says Moyes can get the best out of Basuma. You have a top player, but his problem is focus and a lack of consistency. That's no good then, is it, when it's bloody he's 29 nearly. Looked really good at Brighton. I thought when Spurs bought him, I thought got a good player there. He'll do really well. And I haven't seen loads of him. It's not like I watch Tottenham every week, but he just doesn't seem like he's done what I thought he was going to do with Spurs.
And then the other players who came in and they're just better than him.
Yeah. Neil says I'm going to the Chicago and Atlanta games. I was listening to you every day while I work from home in Denver. Just wondering if you were doing any fun events. Come and say hello anyway, Neil. But the minute we know what's going on, we're trying to find out if Everton are doing anything, and then we can sort of plan stuff. So, we'll see what happens. Nothing's up, Sniffer. You said to me get off the mushrooms because Delhi was better than Barkley. People dismiss Ross Barkley, such a good footballer, could travel with the ball, so strong. His decision, he was a different player straight away than Delhi anyway. Delhi was a second striker who scored goals. Ross Barkley was an attacking midfield player who drove and created things. If you think that, that's fine. If you think Delhi was above, brilliant. No issue with it, mate. All opinions. And yeah, you're absolutely correct. We've never won the League Cup. We win like league titles and stuff and FA Cups. Imagine Newcastle have won a few FA Cups, but not for years. But fair play. You do you, mate. I'm good, but I know how good a footballer Ross Barkley was.
I used to argue with everyone about Ross. Like, Liverpool fans say Coutinho's better, and I'd say, no, it's Ross Barkley, and still the most hurt I've ever been over any transfer, though.
I wasn't like massively hurt over it, like, you know what I mean?
I was hurt.
You know, I mean, yeah, Sean says McAtee's the only nephew of Alan Ball. He is. We do need pure pace on the right, though. We absolutely do. I don't. Vigo Doll, I think that is, says McAtee realistic? I don't know. I mean, he's been linked a few times. I think he is. It depends. I don't know what City want to do with him. If they're looking for somewhere to park him for a year in the Premier League, then Everton's a good fit for him, isn't it? Really, because I just don't see, when you see the likes of Man City, and I just don't see them loaning players to Champions League clubs. I'm not sure teams like Newcastle or Chelsea probably wouldn't want him, and Newcastle probably wouldn't want him, but I mean, just seems like that Villa and that who were in and around it. I'm just not sure City would loan him to them kind of teams, and therefore, if he's going to go on loan, then he's in. He doesn't have to move and all that, so he's still settled. Then a club like Everton's a good move for him, isn't it, for a year to get games and stuff. But I don't know. He's been linked quite a few times, but I don't know. No, I agree with you, Peter. We probably won't see any. We won't see any deals, I don't think, until July the 1st and beyond that, unless. But what I guess what they could do, though, is, and a lot of clubs do this, they have an agreement. Where they have an agreement where they say he'll join on July the 1st or whatever. So I guess that's what they say. Who's called the close season, the off season? I don't know who he's talking to, because we certainly don't. Mr. H88 says, late to the party, fellas, have we discussed how Pickford is to blame for England's defeat? Oh, it was 100% Pickford's fault that last night. 100%.
Enough on the bench.
It actually was his fault because he didn't play.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
But Big Hendo got his chance and absolutely blew it. So fair play to him. Steve Begg says, can you think of one player Dyche got the best out of?
McNeil.
I think McNeil. Yeah. I think, if we're all being honest, Dwight come in, Frank Lampard had him out the team as quickly as he could, and was just like, I know that Lampard there'd been discussions about trying to sell him in the January after we just bought him. Was that going to be an option? Maybe. And Dyche come in and he done brilliantly, to be fair. And to be fair, he got the best out of Dukes for a while. In all fairness to Dyche, like, everyone who watches this knows for a fact that, you know, I'd put him on the level with Benitez as an Everton manager, really. Yeah. But he did get the best out of, like, Decore and McNeil.
We played literally to Dwight McNeil's strengths, winning loads of set pieces so we could get assists, but then also sort of slow football where, you know, it suited him better, and that's why. I mean, you speak about it more than me, saying that you don't think he'd get into a Moyes team because he's not really got the stuff that you need to be in a Moyes team, but he was perfect for Dyche.
Yeah. Mark Cody says we need to get on with it, Baz. What's going on with Ghana? Well, thing he said last night, Koulibaly said last night that he sort of hinted that it was Garner's sort of told him he's staying at Everton, basically. And Moyes has said something today, hasn't he?
Didn't we nearly sign Koulibaly for like 70 million?
Well, when Carlo was here, we were nearly... It wasn't 70.
No.
It was about 40.
Do you think it's a parallel universe where we've got Zaha and we've got Koulibaly and we're like in the Champions League?
Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel done and covered it. Gabriel's had his medical with us and everything and covered it.
And we're in the Champions League now, winning everything.
Well, wouldn't go that far, but we'd have been better. David says Lee Dixon said Pickford's longevity was partly because his competition. Who's his competition? Nick Pope?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be silly. Nick Pope's a good goalie, but he's not Pickford.
No.
Pickford's time will come when another goalie will come through and be better and he'll get in.
Trafford's linked with Newcastle now, isn't he?
Yeah, but listen, that'd be a good move for him to go to Newcastle. Then he'd have to try and get Pope out, and then he'd have to develop. He's a young goalie. He's like 21 or something. Trafford or 22. But last time he was in the Premier League, he was an absolute shambles.
22, yeah.
He was that much of a shambles. They took him out and put Murray in goal because he was a shambles.
Yeah. Murray wasn't.
And yet he was very good in the Championship, Trafford. So let's see what he's like after. I was going to say 2 years in the Championship, but Burnley will get relegated again. So we'll wait and see. But if he goes to Newcastle, then it's up to him now. But yeah, where am I? What was I going to say then? Bob says we need to be cool on Guy Eales when he gets back from the international break. Yeah. Torquay Toffee says, would Walker Peters be our first choice right back if he came in?
I mean, for the out and out right back, he'd be the best one, wouldn't he?
See, I think, and I might be massively wrong, but I think Moyes is quite happy with O'Brien at right back.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's not like a right back though, is he? His like limitations when that you're not going to really get much of an attacking output. But with Kyle Walker-Peters, you would. And so like as a right back, he'd be better. But I could see O'Brien starting there as well. I'd still sign Kyle Walker-Peters though, just because he offers that versatility with left back and right back, and we need that. He's free.
I just think you want your fullbacks to be like if you look at teams like Newcastle, they have although I've seen Liveramento's going to City.
Is he? Yeah.
Apparently so. I don't. Just seeing it. They're trying to get. Well, Benitez didn't want him. Newcastle have a few, don't they? They have good fullbacks.
And Dumfries.
But they have players that get forward, don't they? And if you look at Villa, their fullbacks fly forward. If you look at Arsenal, their fullbacks, City, Liverpool.
Yeah.
So that's the modern fullback, isn't it? And Everton, what's mad is Everton were doing this before anyone in the Premier League with Coleman and Baines.
Yeah.
We were flying forward, Luca Dean. And these teams caught up with us and started realising that that's where it was at. And we've sort of gone back the other way. So that's where... But David Moyes does like attacking fullback, so we'll see what he does. I think he'll transition to that at some stage when he can. So... But... Magical Fluid Process says... would Grealish score more goals than Illiman? Well... Possibly not, but surely he'd score goals and we'd be playing both of them, wouldn't we? We'd want them both in the team, wouldn't we? So, would Grealish score more than Jack Harrison? I'd probably hedge me bets and say, yeah, personally. There you go. My opinion. Tom says, good evening. Gents, do you think Everton will have new kits on sale before going to the US? Yeah, they will. Paul says, sorry lads, missed the show earlier, but have you seen the prices of the Forever Blue membership? Yeah, I did. They are a bit mad. But
you get one free ticket to a women's game though.
Well, there you go. Gray Leeds says, get me Big Barry. Why not? Ian says Newcastle are getting quoted 60 big ones for Elanga when you think he was a £15 million player. That's what happens. You have a good season and then you can name your price, can't you? Mark Mack says if the choice was to start the season with Barry, Beto and Antonio or Dom, Beto and Chimiti, don't bring Antonio into it. I'm not even answering it. Mikel Antonio, pack it in. Paul Williams says, I think as the whole conversation around Everton has changed for the better, we're beginning to get linked with better players. We look as if we have money to spend, so we'd love to get Grealish and Barry and whoever we need. It's exciting to be linked to these players and it not to be nonsense, hopefully. Yeah, definitely. Barry says, just bought and enjoyed a strawberries and cream Huel after your recommendations. Advertising on Toffee TV clearly works. Absolutely, it does. They're nice though, aren't they? Strawberries and cream. Nice, like a milkshake. Brad says we can't bring Grealish in because then we'd be over the limit on players in the squad with their socks around there. Ooh. That is true.
He too.
That is, he loves the sock.
His calves.
What it is he can't get the sock over his calves though. Yeah. Mike says, what do you think of Tuchel's comment that Pickford needs to be playing for the team involved in European games? Was that what he said?
Yeah.
Or what, because Henderson's but behave?
And Pope.
And Nick Pope. Yeah. Well, if he said that, then good luck, Thomas.
Good luck. I'll find the exact quote for you.
Fella's a clown. And I like Thomas Tuchel, but he's lost his mind. But fair play to him. If he said that, he's an embarrassment. Gray Lead says recent Everton transfers and financial dealings have an old generation of fans shitting their pants at the thought of losing players. This has got to stop. With regards to Grealish, Moyes isn't a mug. If he wants him, then it's fine by me. Spot on, mate. Spot on. Grandpa Flum says, just bought my new membership. The exiled Wool will be coming up from Reading for a few games. It's right, mate. Paddy says, like the fact a player will have a bevy on the off season. Did I say if I said the off season, not the close season, then I apologise. Shows the human and no different to what most do on a weekly basis. Yeah. Gareth Barry was past his prime, was still great. Yeah.
The quote was, all three of our goalkeepers are not involved in European football. They're not used to European football, which would be ideal. Then he said, it's not a problem. Jordan behaves and trains at the highest level and we're very, very happy with him. No, but there were some articles that took it out of context and said, like, Tuchel plans to axe him for Dean Henderson's Europe and Nick Pope and James Trafford's going to be in Europe and stuff. But
James Trafford? He's not, is he?
What?
James Trafford not in Europe.
No, but if he signs for Newcastle.
Well, he's not going to, is he?
Yeah. But that was what
Dean Henderson will be in Europe for a few games.
They'd be to be in the Champions League, want to be in the Europa League.
I think probably I'd examine with Tuchel if I could sit down with them and go, yeah, Henderson playing in the Europa League for a few games. Brilliant. Is that better than playing in 2 World Cups, a European Championship final, two European Championship finals, Thomas? Yeah, you wouldn't know that, Thomas, would you? Because, you won the Champions League with Frank Lampard's team, but well done. Well done. Blade. Kevin says, hi, you beautiful people. What do you think about Jesus Vasquez from Valencia? Read rumours he's available for about 5 million. Is anyone available for 5 million euros nowadays?
Timo Werner.
Apart from Timo Werner, yeah. Nick says, is Barry fast? Yes. Should we get him in? Partially solve our lack of pace in the team. Still want a proper winger with blistering pace and some end product. That's what we need. We need the right sorting, don't we? We need the right-hand side sorting out. A lot of it is perception as well. The minute we're not really going to do anything, I don't think, before July the 1st. I don't know. But there you go. That's embarrassing then, isn't it? But what can you do? Oh, yes, the Mikel Antonio. What would be the point of that? Really? It'd be a joke, that.
He's 35, and if there was ever an injury that's going to change the player,
exactly.
The one he had.
Yeah, no. If West Ham aren't giving him a contract when he was their player, then why would Everton?
Isn't he the top record goal scorer in the Premier League and stuff as well?
I would never have had Mikel Antonio as when he was in his prime.
Yeah. But he was a right back as well.
But anyway. Yeah, let's see. Neil says clearly we need some squad players. I think it'll all be done, mate, with after July the 1st, I think. Ian says, very good evening, everyone watching. Hope you're well, having a great day. Tom S says, Bowley or Ratcliffe have offered Social a bonus to try to construct pick for the move to them.
Chelsea aren't gone off that minor, are they? They've pulled out of it.
No.
And sold Bettinelli to Man City.
That's mad as well, isn't it? Flying Scotsman says, I'd rather get Big Dunk back on the pitch than Antonio. Yeah, definitely. Harvey Barrow says, I'd love us to get McAtee from Man City. Think he's a great player. On loan, maybe. Toffee Jedi says, I've heard strong links with Victor Lindelof. Well, he's free, isn't he? He's free. Kufal. I don't want Kufal.
No.
If you're going for a right back who's free, go and get Walker Peters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kufal isn't for me. Obviously back him if he comes in. He's an Everton player, so you get behind him, but no. Oh God. Cam says, do you think Dwight gets into the team if you have Grealish and Jai? If he plays in the middle, does Alcaraz become a squad player? No, I think Dwight becomes a squad player. I've said it before, Dwight McNeil's got a great left foot, and it's up to him to force his way in, but I don't see him as a David Moyes player. I just don't.
Yeah.
He's, for set pieces and that, but you can't have a player in because they can take a good set piece. Can't be the only reason. But if Dwight battles and gets himself in, good luck to him. That's what it's about. But it's gone Everton are looking at a fast right winger. And if Grealish come, you'd have Grealish and Jai and whoever's on the right. Alcaraz has got to try and battle to get in. McNeil would have to battle to get. It's what you want. You want competition for places, don't you? Mini Painter Jake says Grealish, McAtee and Barry would be a sick window attacking wise. Need a right back and a centre back. No, Mike, I don't think Yilmaz is that fast, to be honest. But I don't. Again, it's Turkey, isn't it? Playing over there, I'm just not convinced by him. 25, and he's in Turkey.
Yeah.
Talent. He's obviously a talent, but he just wouldn't be. He wouldn't be. Well, he's not in our. Well, he might be in our wingers list.
Could be in it. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll have to watch it.
Aidan says that young Yamal lad in Spain seems all right. Might be good in a few years.
It's just Spanish Toilet Neil.
Yeah. Sean says that Barry, from what I've seen of him, is a big lad capable of playing football. Big, strong, looks very comfortable with the ball. Harvey, I've no idea, mate. If he had come, Grealish, I don't know. But I only mentioned it simply because he's been linked so many times and there's stories every day about it. I've no idea. Dave Murphy says Yilmaz is slower than an asthmatic slug carrying heavy shopping bags.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he wouldn't be my cup of tea. That's for sure. Gavin says Lamptey would be a good option. He would, but he's just signed a new 1-year deal at Brighton, so they obviously trying to get money for him. But I've never understood that with players. Sign a 1-year deal so the club can get some money. Why? When you can get the money?
Yeah.
If you're not intending on staying. The which?
Alexander Arnold. That was what they wanted in the interview, wasn't it? Like, they hated them.
Steve P says, it does baffle me the way people keep saying we need a backup to Mykolenko. Mykolenko is the one that needs to become the backup. Well, he definitely needs competition.
He has his strengths, doesn't he? But
doesn't he? Definitely needs to be competition. Roy Nixon says Chems Dean Talby at Bruges, 20 years old right winger, faster than the Roadrunner. 7 goals this season, €8 million. All of these type of players are there. Can Everton be brave enough? Will Everton be brave enough? Down that right-hand side is, Steve P says, are you getting Yilmaz mixed up with Yildiz from Juve? Liam Dunn, greetings from Centre Parks in Ireland. That's brilliant week, loving the close season. Toffee TV, best time of year to be a Blue. Yeah, the pre-season, the best time when you're full of hope. You're full of hope. Cam says, do you think Jimmy Garner will start next season, or will Tim get the nod, or do you think they'll get someone next to Garner?
I think they'll get someone next.
I do. I think they'll get another midfield player. Fane says, I could see an argument for Burkhardt and Walter made as a striker and a second striker. Still get the height, start to build a little German contingent. I'd love that, but Everton won't get both of them. I don't think. But that wouldn't be a bad, would it?
No.
That wouldn't be a bad window, getting those two. Fantastic. Mikalenko has improved working with Baines. Absolutely, he's improved. But we still need naturally attacking left back. You've got to look at the league, see what the trends are, what are the teams doing really well. And it's mostly teams with attacking fullbacks who fly up and down, isn't it? And that's where we've got to go to. Doesn't mean you throw out Mikalenko and you throw some, but you've got to have that option. You should be able to use them in games where you need it. Ken said, I heard the report 2 weeks ago that Grealish was set for Man United if they won the Conference League.
No way.
No, I didn't hear that one. No. Daniel says, you that about, don't know what you that about is, but says something like, Vitaly's better than people give him credit for, won't find much better on our budget who wants to play for us. Can't see us signing a carbon copy of Micho. I can't. And see us signing an attacking fullback like the manager likes, to be fair. Glenn says, James O'Brien, only question. What's your favourite Toffee TV programme? Club Call, Round the Tower, Business with Blaine, or the tier lists?
Ooh. Round the Tower's fun, isn't it? I enjoy Round the Tower. Shit. I know you don't like it, but I do. I think it's funny. I like the Round the Tower specials too. I'm a fan of them.
I think it's better. I think the problem with Round the Tower is there's too many questions.
Yeah.
So it loses. Like, having one from each of us 3 times.
Yeah.
Because it goes on for too long. So it ruins it.
Yeah. Some of them have lasted.
Any other business was the best. Was always the best, because that was no football. And it was just random stuff. And it was like random stuff that's going on in the news. And we'd get it and discuss it. And they were hilarious. They were brilliant. I used to love any other business.
How come you stopped it?
I think it just stopped because I think there was like a tournament on or something, so we stopped doing it, and then we just never went back to it. Yeah. But we should have done, because that was the best. John's not back for about 3 weeks. He's in America till early July. Mark Doyle says the 1878 podcast. Yeah, I enjoyed the 1878 because I enjoyed the non-football bit of it. Because you have to have a break, don't you, as well? Break it up. Yeah. Steve P says Bournemouth literally found much better a few months later when we signed Mikalenko for less money. JD47 says I want to see McNeil side as a wing back, but the manager doesn't play 3 centre backs, so it wouldn't work, would it? Well, yeah.
AOB Nazi talk with a thumbs up.
That was more with Ned though, wasn't it? That was Ned. That was Ned. Like, we're finishing now, but Carl Stokes says, hi guys, tuned in late, so going to the beginning, but was wondering what you think we need on the right wing. I see this position as key and has been for seasons. Anyway, keep up the good. We've got to have.
If he's a Premier member, he can know it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Check out the video. It's 7
tomorrow.
If you're a Premier member, if not, you'll see it tomorrow. We need pace.
Yeah.
We need pace and someone who can score goals, mate. That's it. That's it. Steve says, whenever I hear McNeil's name, it drains the life out of me and makes me think of Dyche. Yeah, but he's got his qualities, and David Moyes will make the decision, and he'll have to improve. But Moyes isn't a fool, and therefore he's trying to rebuild Everton in a different way. So let's see what he comes up with. That's the best way to look at it.
Yeah.
That is the best way to look at it. Ben says, I'd love you to bring AOB back. It was great. Yeah, we will bring it back. I think we will. We need to. Hayden says, do you think Barry instantly becomes a starter, or does Moyes stick with Beto?
I don't think he becomes a starter. But I think then, when Beto had his game where he didn't score for 6 games in a row, I think that's when Barry comes in, and you don't have to just rely on Beto getting back into scoring, or Calvert-Lewin going 20 games without scoring.
I honestly think the manager will bring him in and go, whoever does better in pre-season starts the season.
Maybe. That's
what I think he'd do, and it's up to them. The gauntlet's thrown down straight away. Then go and do it. Derek says, slightly off the subject, but still with Chimiti, I always thought it was a mistake to end the Centre League, the old reserve league. For Chimiti, Gabam and Ali, and of course all the kids like Harrison Armstrong, it tests them against returning from injury. De Bruyne, for instance. Yeah, absolutely. It was a massive mistake to stop it. Massive mistake. And players should have played in it. It shouldn't be looked upon as, well, I'm playing for the reserves. Then players who aren't playing should be going, I want a game. Yeah.
Someone just put selective breeding with Ned.
Yeah, Ned come up with some crackers on that, mate. We might get saved. Ned's available sometimes to come in and do an AOB with us. Mental. Mark Mack says Damari Gray is available. Get him back for the pace. Ben says McNeil isn't good enough. One-footed. We'll see, won't we? JD says McNeil as a left back will be a trial. I'd love to see cracking left foot if we can get him in the team away from areas you need pace. But then you still need him to run. Well, I don't know. Would he be able to play it? I don't know. He's not great defensively, is he, tackling wise? Yeah. He did play left back in one of the games. Yeah. Didn't he? And the first tackle, he got the shoulder drop. The fella went round him. He fell over, nearly popped his shoulder. Yeah. Was it Southampton in the cup? He was running around holding his shoulder for about 15 minutes. Yeah, he got rinsed about 5 times at left back. Because it isn't his position. I wouldn't have a go with him for that. It wasn't his position. And where are we? Mike Kilkenny says, Ritsu don't, I'm manifesting this. And Sam Jabroni, or Jabroni Sam, but I'm guessing it's Sam Jabroni, says chicken catching pace. That's what we need. We do. Right, you're all beautiful, and now we're going. Thank you, everyone. Make sure you like and subscribe. Have a great evening if you are. Have we got something coming out?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock on Premiere is the Wingers. 3
o'clock for everyone else tomorrow.
3 o'clock tomorrow for everybody else. Take it easy. Go and watch the attacking video if you haven't watched it, or the midfield. Comments and all that. See you later. Bye.